So tonight's session is Christmas Eve, so happy Christmas and happy New Year. This will be Christmas Eve's training and Christmas Day's training. I like training Christmas Day. New Year's Eve training or Christmas Eve training has always been a thing I've done, and I intend to continue it because it's Tuesdays, and Tuesdays is touch and go snatches, snatch high pulls, and then some back squats. So the touch and go snatches have been 110 for 3 recently, and I've done that the week before I went to see Gabriel and Zach in London, and I did 147. Then I did 110 last week again. Now you might say it's 115 the next, and didn't Anton say don't go too heavy? And first of all, I'm not doing 115 because 115 is for losers. It's like squatting 202. Who the fuck does that? Nobody does that. It's like doing 7 sets of 7, 4 sets of 7. It's not real. That doesn't exist. That kind of person doesn't exist. At least that's not the person I want to be in 2025. So the next answer is 120 kilos for the touch and go snatches. Well, that happened tonight. It fucking better. It better be good quality. Then we'll do snatch high pulls. So at the moment I'm doing 2 snatch high pulls a week and 1 snatch pull because I've reset the macro block on the loading of those lifts, and while they're lighter I can actually do high pulls to about here, no rebend, just pull them up straight and high, usually around the weight I finish with. Then on one of the days of the week I'll do actual heavier snatch pulls. So when I do the heavy snatch from the floor, I'll go 20 or 30 kilos. I feel pretty good. Back squats are reset again. Everything you've seen I'm basically doing, except I've upped the rep and the volume per set and per session. So I did 2 sets of 5 last week, big volume. And then on Sunday I did 3 sets of 4, which is big time volume, at least compared to what I've been doing all of this year. I might even do 5s again tonight. I'm not sure. I might go crazy. So I'm just trying to up the volume a little bit while I'm at those lighter weights. I suspect I probably could keep going with those 3s or lesses and I suppose get to that final destination, but I think a bit of volume would be no harm at the moment. I'm doing a lot of them barefoot and beltless because I'm actually just really enjoying it. I just fucking love how barefoot squatting feels. You feel so connected to the floor, but objectively the weightlifting shoes are better. So we'll be doing somewhere between 200 and 220 tonight. Quad is perfect, feels great. So yep, 0 out of 10, fantastic, very happy with that. Snatching is good. Been doing loads of pec and armpit work, which is disgusting with my neuromuscular therapist. He's an NMT, a lot of physical therapy on it, a lot of stretching. Ugh. Lots of traps as well, feels great when that's released. Traps feels lovely, but when someone's at your pec, that feels disgusting. But the bottom position is getting a lot better. So much more range in my upper back now, and I can maintain this position really well. I've been working at it obviously a lot since the return to weightlifting, and it's paying off in the snatch. Slowly working my front rack mobility again, not for the immediate future, but in lieu of maybe other goals once I'm finished my current goals, which I'm keeping to myself. And I have pretty happy with the progression with that. Something else is happening in the new year, a few other things. Oh, last thing before I start training. So a lot of you may remember that I was just talking last week about the humidity in my house. So it's dropped. Like the best day it's dropped so far is 30%. The humidity is 30% lower in the house. I'm so fucking happy. I need to do more insulation in the attic next. I need to put in another heat recovery unit. I've got my heat recovery unit for here. A lot of you had suggestions. A lot of you were suggesting stuff that would cost a couple of grand, but I don't need that, which a lot of those things work. At this point in time with building and renovation stuff, there's so many options available to you, and a lot of them are great. I don't need to spend 2,000 or 3,000 on a fully HVAC unit, so the heat recovery unit will just go into one of those walls here, stay pulling constantly. The energy draw is quite low because it's literally a fan that is 6 inches in diameter, and it just spins 70 seconds one direction, 70 seconds the other direction through a heat exchanger, and reliably reduces the humidity in the shed. So it should be easier to keep it warmer. To be honest, at the moment in Ireland, what's happening is most of the autumn and the start of the winter is really warm. Like I think today might have been like 10 degrees. And then it seems to be happening is March and April get really cold for extended period of time. So this year, in the last few years, there was multiple days where it would be like -4 or 5 or 6 at night, which is in a country with pretty high humidity, does not make for good driving conditions. What it'll be interesting. It'll be, interesting to see how that trend continues. Actually, this is useful. So for tonight's sessions, because I program myself and I do a lot of different kind of training, how I think about the sessions is I'm always looking for the progressions, and they usually happen. If something doesn't go to plan, if for some reason things aren't great, I usually try and accrue a bit of volume on the warm-ups at about 80% of what I'm hoping for. So, 90 to 100 kilos. I might do a few sets tonight if things feel maybe not so good. But if things feel good, I'll keep going, obviously. But a lot of time, even if I do feel good, I'll try and get that extra volume in because it's very useful. The point of these touch and go snatches is for my second pull speed, as told to me by Coach Anton. And they seem to be helping. I'm not doing all the way to the floor touch and go. I'm doing really, 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 really low hang touch and go. And because my floor isn't fully even, that's something I do need to fix, but it's low on my renovations DIY projects that I need to do because it works fine and the other stuff is more important right now to fix. But I will get to that and I'll show you what I do. I kind of know what I need to do. Maybe I'll get a chance over the winter actually, but the touch and go were for that second pull speed. A little bit of eccentric loading on them, not too much, but a small bit, so it's never a harm. And I'm going to stop rambling now. I know some of you like the rambling, some of you don't. If you don't like them, unfortunately, they will continue because that's what you get when you guys clearly prefer these kind of vlogs. And I understand. I'll timestamp the training, even though timestamp is actually bad for viewer retention, because what happens on YouTube is people click to the parts they want, and YouTube really values viewer retention. It also values likes and comments, so I'm not saying it would help if you liked and commented, but it'd be real nice if someone did that. You can just say stuff like how many cows you had for Christmas dinner, or you can just say the stuff you need to work on. Just leave it training, don't make it any personal, don't make it weird. When I see your feelings, be a fucking man. I'm joking, you can make whatever you want. Okay, I'm gonna go training. Okay, pretty good session. We finished with the 120 kilo touch and go snatches. We did pulls, kind of not really high pulls, more normal pulls at 120 kilos, snatch pulls. And then we finished at 220 for a top triple, no shoes, no belt, no service, but a good session. I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling it warming up from the snatches. I think I'm feeling the caloric restriction just a little bit more. I think probably recovery from consecutive sessions. The weights feel fine, I don't feel heavy. That 120 for a triple, actually, you know what? I haven't done 120 for a triple yet, so it's okay. It's not like the sessions aren't progressing, but definitely feeling a bit of the fatigue from just lack of calories consumed. It's bound to happen. We'll see how it goes. I'd like to keep this momentum going, but it is the start of a new block, so now is the time to do it. Probably another 3 kilos to go. But yeah, I could feel I just wasn't as consecutively fresh. But we'll keep an eye on it. It might perk up again. I suspect it should. Sleep is good. Doing mobility, training load is appropriate. So it's kind of the only thing really. Like yesterday was an hour of cardio, but I do that every Monday and Friday. And Sunday was normal training, Saturday was hill sprints. But none of that should be really affecting by now. I would have felt that Sunday or yesterday. So we'll see how it goes. Snatch pulls are fine. Obviously big focus on pulls. I topped out at 220 for the triple. To be honest, they didn't feel as good as the last two squatting sessions. The last two squatting sessions I was moving 200 really well. That felt quite heavy. Not heavy in the fact that I feel weaker, heavy that I kind of feel fatigued or tired. But I did want to push it because I didn't really feel like there was much purpose in doing 2 or 3 triples at 200 kilos. I thought it'd be better to go to 220. Moves really well. Core feels a lot better, which is great, but definitely haven't seen the single leg stuff come through yet. There's a little bit of discrepancy that I talked about since the foot thing happened. I broke my foot. The unilateral imbalance is a little bit there. It's not there as much when I have maybe my shoes and my belt on. It happened a bit last year unilaterally, maybe when I got to like 280 plus. It didn't feel like it was happening at 290 recently, which is great. So it's probably more of a exposure during to fatigue, a kind of regression to secondary conditions. So need to keep doing the single leg work. I'm doing that about once a week at the moment, doing a lot of leg dominant stuff at the moment, so I can't afford to spend too much time with it. But then I'm a bit more cautious of the loading. So if I was trying to push it, I probably would have done another 220 triple there, but I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to progress the squat the same way I did to 290. So pretty happy with session overall. There's objective progression. So of course I wanted to feel better and be more amazing and snappy. Yes, but that's not how the cookie crumbles. What am I going to do with the touch and go snatches from here? Probably, I'm going to say doubles, but the triples are definitely more useful. 20 is probably as heavy as I should get, so I will have to think about it. And let's see how the snatches and the other hang snatches go. Okay, welcome back. It's Christmas Day. We're going to get a quick session in, about 30 minutes, power and upper body hypertrophy. I'm going to be doing the power first, obviously, high skill movements, but sometimes I actually do supersets of my power work and my bodybuilding if I want to get it done faster, because it's all lower body power and upper body hypertrophy. It's not really going to interfere. My favorite derivative of the moment, or my favorite goal, or my main goal for the moment when it comes to the power work, is just counter movement jumps for height and then some training to support that. Mostly because I just enjoy doing that, and that's kind of the one I want to progress. I pushed my box jumps a lot earlier in the year and I made some good PBs there, but I just kind of want to push that vertical jump a little bit further and see how it works, because I know a lot of people want to push it for themselves. So, you know, it's good to do that training yourself. The foot at the moment randomly gets sore after some snatching sessions, kind of like a sporadic 4 out of 10. That's a normal rehab process, a recovery process. So I just need to be smart doing this. But for example, at hill sprints, then there might be zero pain and no effect on it. So it's just, you know, it's the unknown nature of biology and soft tissue and bone. So I'm going to show you my favorite derivative for vertical jumps that requires no setup. Essentially rebound jumps, but we lift our legs up a little bit and try and go again as fast as possible. I like them, they're very productive for that vertical jump. And then I'm going to do upper body work. Gotta say, looking pretty jacked at the moment. It's weird how getting leaner makes you look more muscular. Big that as me. So today I'm going to be doing possibly some strict press, band resisted rows. No, maybe I'll do strict press, barbell rows, and I might do some push-ups and some core. But first, I'll do my jumps.
It's like when we did our first 5 minutes, I think I'll get the set chances meeting now. So when I hear that, but after that, it's that's the craziest part is the fact that it's changed all. Maybe I'll post tomorrow and work it out. Exact same. It's bringing people into your life. Yeah, no, it's definitely big by now, but it's a bit plan. I know, but when did you figure out, I'm going to keep moving? Maybe from the earliest one to the 3-month mark. Because somebody said so 3-plate bench, 9-plate squats, all sorts of whatever. I'd get usually working videos. Not a ton, but about 3 months in I'd get some of those. And eventually get if I asked you if I had a pinpoint, I'd say, Sam, how did you get up? And you probably don't have an answer for it. Maybe not as, I've said this before, it's kind of, I think there's a couple things that help. The guys, where they post a lot, they've been posting for the whole time I've been around. 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, I've seen the same dudes. But there's an extra step. You gotta adjust a little. The analytics are so crazy because if you look back at, let's say you make 10 videos, 110 posts on anything, your analytics can show you this one did well. So now that's up to you to say, okay, let's go back. What did I do differently here? Did I use fancier music? If you post a lot and then you look back over 1 month, say what did good? Maybe I'll try to do something. And then you just keep doing that process. You should eventually get to something. But I think there's a balance of okay, you have to post stuff you like. You can't just only post.
Today's session is full snatches, probably heavier snatch pulls, and then some probably 220 squats again. I might throw on a belt, probably leave off the shoes just because I'm just kind of enjoying it really, but I might wear the shoes. We'll see how it feels. If it feels good, I'll put on the shoes. Snatches, we're going to do something like 120 for a couple of sets. So I know last week we did 120 for a couple of 5x2 I think. So I'll aim to do that again, or maybe push a little bit further. A little bit fatigued again today. I got I think I slept for 10 hours total last night, which is great. And I had a half an hour nap today. So it's a lot of sleep. So I'm obviously a little bit fatigued, which is good that I'm getting that much sleep though, so that's nice. So we'll see how the weights feel. Probably at least a couple of sets of 120 for doubles, full snatch from the floor. And if it feels good, I'll keep going and push those for quite a few sets because it's a valuable method of training. Then we'll move on to the pulls and the squats. Pulls will be slightly heavier than the snatches, and then the squats, like I said, probably around that 220 mark. And we'll see how it goes. And I'll see you after the lifting. We'll have a little review of how it goes. I haven't too much rambling to do tonight because I've rambled so much in the last 2 training sessions. Maybe there's something I could think of, but I'll save you the pain.
And the thing is, the same exact thing is gonna happen to you because these days the challenge switch your worldview to affect you, which essentially provides. That's why I believe that's the
no spin, but she swears it is love, it's a damn godsend. She ain't known God since she was a child.
Woo!
Sitting on a job, but the prison still won. Your transgressions are money. Anger grows in the bones if you could not tell. I'll find comfort. Lord, forgive us, my boys and me. We're having it all night.
Right, that was a great session. So we did 120 kilos for 8x2 on the snatch. Now that wasn't great because I haven't done 120 kilos for that much volume in a long time. That session was great because I made the big jump from 100 to 120. So that lets me know things are really progressing. Those jumps actually aren't useful for when you're in good shape on that day, when you're full of energy. Those jumps are useful for when you're tired, but you're in good shape and you know you can make those silly jumps. Normally I go 100, 110, 120, but today I just needed to get on with it. I did my snatches. Some sets are really good, some sets weren't quite as good. Speed is good. Really happy with positions on most of them. A few I was coming back just a little bit too early, but a lot of positions that I've been working on are good. I needed to remember to put in a lot of speed on those, so most of them are good. One or two slowed down and you could see the difference, but then maybe the rep after or the next set I would put in a lot more speed, and even though I'm a little bit more fatigued, they were still very good snatches, so I'm really happy with that. Joking about the jump, obviously it's a good landmark of volume progression at 120 kilos for 8 doubles. This is pretty nice. I kind of knew I had that going in, and those kind of volume sessions, those big volumes on the snatch and the heavy, are very fatiguing. So I was already kind of fatigued coming into the session. I just kept my pulls at 120. I did 4x3, but I didn't video them. Now on the back squat, I did 220 kilos for 2 sets of 5. And I'm not gonna lie, the first set felt like a piece of piss. I was not expecting that. I felt like I could have done a set of 10 on it, certainly by how the reps are feeling. Technique was great. Core felt good, unilaterals felt good. Core didn't feel as good in the second set, so I need to keep working it. But I was so tired, not exhausted. I was so, low on energy after I did 8x2 and 120 and pulls. I didn't even go 70 or the barbell on back squats. I literally went 120, 170, 200, 220. And the bar only felt pretty light when I was at 220. I was not expecting it to feel like that. So that's great that 220 felt like that. That's what I would have hoped for this session, was 220 for 5s. I like doing the 3 sessions a week because I'm not clean and jerking and I'm not front squatting. So I can spread that volume out a little bit more across those sessions. So one of my main strength lifts are snatching and squats. I can be a little bit less intense per session. It takes a bit more diligence. It takes a bit more coaching knowledge. It takes a bit more intelligence around selection, and you need to be a bit smarter with it. But for me, it suits me at the moment because I don't have to worry about front squats. I don't have to worry about clean and jerk. If I was front squatting and clean and jerking, I couldn't really spread those 3 back squat sessions out because I'd have to have my front squats in. The clean and jerks would be fatiguing. It wouldn't really work. But because I'm just snatching and squatting, and it can work a little bit better, and I like it. I just like squatting 3 times a week. It feels nice. I like the frequency. So I'm really happy with that. Very, 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 very happy with that, even though I'm tired. But that's what happens when you get sleepy, even if you're tired. So I'm pretty happy. I'm telling you I'm tired, not because I like complaining, but to let you know that I too am tired. But you can still get good sessions in. Tomorrow will just be cardio, Saturday upper body and plyos. So that's some good training sessions. The 120 low hang triple from the last session, or the first session's video. Progression, they're not PBs, comeback PBs. Volume comeback PB there. Technique good. Elbow good. Lower back grand, good. Hip good, knees good, foot fine. It's all fine, everything hurts, but it's not that sore. So wrist is kind of sore at the moment actually. It's definitely soft tissue, so I need to look at that. Some vascularity is coming back, so I'm a fat fuck. So I need to get some soft tissue work done on that. Onto 4 notches on the belt, so that lets me know I'm getting skinnier. So all progressing well. So hopefully we can keep this rolling. And I'll be training with someone that you guys will definitely like in February, in about a month's time. You can probably guess who it is, so I won't ruin it. So you can get some algo comments in if you think you can guess who it is. Fitz won't be there, unfortunately, because he's out of the country that weekend. But I'll be there, so that'll be fun to do. So I need to make sure that I'm sharpy doodles, and yeah, pretty happy with that session. Check out the Sika Strength newsletter, Sika Strength app. Mwah, love you.